new multiverses patch. Right away, I should be pointing out with this here. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit too. This is such tiny. Wow, it really doesn't want to use up any of that side real estate, huh? Alright, we can dial that back a little. New fighter Beetlejuice. He is available for Gleamium or character tickets starting today. But if you want to buy him with fighter currency in 3 days, August 23rd, you have to wait. So I won't be playing him. But I was more interested in playing Velma right now anyways. I think most people are. So it is a little weird, but it's also not like game breaking by any means. It's just you have to wait if you don't want to spend money, which I'm okay with that. They are definitely trying to fit in ways to get funding, but also at the same time, sometimes they're doing things to help expedite processes so that players don't have to, well, expedite process, but also they're putting things up to make some processes easier by spending money, which I don't think is terrible. I know like there's been a lot of naysaying about it, and I've even fallen into that a little bit myself. Hey there, Dragon. And I fall into them a little bit self with some of the pricing on some of this stuff. But oftentimes you don't need, if you're not worried about full completing everything, like getting every skin, doing every mission, you're not really missing out on much. Like you can get through the, if you just want to do the battle pass missions, like you can still do that well. If you want certain side buck stuff, you might have to grind a bit. And there's a lot to be said, I guess, about that. Mostly just because this is a free-to-play game, not a non-profit, and that's something I have to feel like it's important to know with all the people working on this game, especially when you include the voice actors and stuff. Thanks for the good luck there, Krim. Hope you're doing well. So yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about a lot of the microtransactions as a whole, but it could be a lot worse. I feel like I feel mostly good, actually, I should say, but I'm not certain on some ends of it, so I can definitely feel like I've been overly negative about it at times too. I'm not even overly negative. I probably brown nose for him too much, if anything. Anyways, point is, I have to wait a few days for this guy. Also, all fighters will be available for local play, so that'll be nice. I am hoping at some point, why do you have to keep doing that? My gaming thing is being weird. All fighters will be able for local play, and I think that's pretty... I'm more interested in like an offline mode, but that's pretty important for a lot of people who want to, you know, practice the characters before they buy them, because that was something they had in the beta that wasn't a thing in the full release, and that just feels weird. Like, the training mode in general in the beta just felt better. I don't know why it's just kind of worse in this mode. Maybe it was designed a bit too much for, like, computer users, and console players had a hard time navigating it. That could be a thing. Yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna stop getting hung up that too much. I would like to see an offline mode, because this game will eventually, someday, some year, not be supported anymore. So it would be nice if there's still an offline mode for it, so people can still play local games. That is one concern I have too, especially when you have an entity like Warner Bros. Involved. And as it is, one thing that Smash Bros. Does have over, something like Smash Bros. Is over a game like this, is there is party mode, which is nice. Like, I feel like the single player, the online, the 2-player for multiverses is just as a whole better. But the party game side of Smash Bros. Has so many different modes, so many stupid things you can throw in there. So that part, like multiverse, is kind of lacking in. So, but it is what it is. Alright, netcode updates. Performance improved during periods of low client frame rate. Server better handles periods of pack loss. Fixed handling of the input delay curve from high ping. Clients have a better handling up for staying in line with the server. Now this is a big one here I've noticed at times, which I don't know if that's my internet or not. Probably is sometimes, I'm sure. Server input overrides will return the player to neutral quicker. Should address issues where lag spikes are causing players to run off the map. I've had that happen a couple times. Yeah, I'm also using a backup controller for now, because The right bumper of my controller was having issues at some point, probably from how much I manhandle it. And the controller I got does let me repair it, but the part that broke, there isn't really a replacement for it. So it's like one of the things that you could replace on it, you can't. So I've been kind of putting it off. And then recently, I was in a match, the right bumper got stuck down, so I was just neutral dodging for forever. And I just had to like work that out in the middle of the match, in ranked. So it was I totally enjoyed that. So now I'm just using a side one here too, so it's giving me a few issues too playing, but I haven't been grinding up the rank that much anyway, so a lot of issues I'm having in regards to many of these things, but I figured I'd just let the music play in the background. This might be copyright though, so it's weird. That's another thing with this game too, the streamer mode, all it does is turn off all the music, because all the music in is like copyright or something. So, it's weird. It's very weird. Anyways, friends list now sorted alphabetically. Nice. The Ghost with the Toast PvE Rift now available. So, I like the Rift stuff. They're fun. There's something simple to do. Good warm-up. Something to just get used to characters. Try something different. Rift updates. Replace the mission. Freeze an opponent with a mission. Hit an enemy with 5 dash attacks. Okay. Upgrade War Rift. I wonder which one that is. I'll probably have to redo that now. There's actually a few of the. You could probably go through some of that too, because I think they're missing a couple things. Fixed issue with treasure missions not processing correctly. Fixed issues with bonus nodes playing incorrect ambient audio. Okay, removed yellow text from the Quiet Mind gem effect. This bonus does not change the gem level. Oh, okay. That's the one where if you stand still for like half a second, you get rage. So. Fixed camera being too close to players while playing co-op in target break and adventure style levels. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I can think of a few levels like with that. Yeah, similar to how in 1v1s it will sometimes be so close you can't see the ground. Rift combat updates. Bots are now more likely to pick up and throw items. Okay. Rift buddy bubble movement change to better work in Dexter's lab map. Rift jump pads now launch players higher. Rift jump pads. Oh yeah, because some of those characters try to jump on those have very bad ups, and it can, yeah. Like you would have to still do a double jump with it, like 2 jumps with it, which oftentimes like you dodging upward too. It's weird. Rift electric fences now have a warning phase before damaging shock is active. Rift electric fences. Wonder if that's a specific rift. Rift fireballs no longer apply stats of ignite on contact. Ah, that's unfortunate. The Titans map now has been added to the game. Nice. They're showing the variants of that too a little bit. Nothing crazy, but I think one has like walls that come out. Then one has a descending platform that's kind of high up. All maps upper blast zone grace has been extended 50%. This should help prevent players from accidentally jumping into a ring out while trying to escape a combo. Yeah, that's been something I've done before. That's something I've seen computers do a lot of, which maybe that's the main reason they're doing it, for like, oh man, our stupid bots are just killing themselves. What are they doing? Throne room 1v1. Walls are no longer there at the start of the match. No longer has a wall and floor transition. Now available in ranked 1v1 map. That's probably for the best. Yeah. But, yeah. Throne room is such a weird level. I'd like it. Don't get me wrong. It's a weird level. Remove bounce pad trees. Got it. I don't know what version that is. Is that... There's a few different versions. There's one that's like nighttime that's for like 2v2. So maybe that's it. Maybe the normal tree floor has like a couple layers. I have to check it out. Water tower. Sentinel fall through platform and door hazard raised on all variants to address bad interactions with certain projectiles. Feel like I kind of remember that a little bit. I know in general this map is just janked up. Just doing anything on it is so janked up at times. It's havoc, is I guess the best way to put it. That map is just jank. I'm all for it too, by the way, but main variant and 1v1 variant added back to their respective ranked map pools. Like I'll hate it when it's, you know, not working out for me. Mostly, sometimes it's just funny, but you know, you gotta take the good with the bad. Grandmaster rank returns to multiverses. This isn't gonna be something that's even gonna affect me. I might try grinding more, but I just have not been playing this game enough to really grind it out. I had somebody who we ended up having a match with on 2v2. They added me as a friend, and we did a bit of grinding and got up to silver with that, but I have not been like super active with responding to a lot of invites. There was this Teabag and Shaggy Dragon, and I met up with Todd, and he wanted to add me as a friend, and I was like, I guess. I'm not opposed. And then he was like, kept inviting me when I'm like just doing some quick dailies and stuff, so I never joined him for anything. I just have not been grinding enough, so I'm bailing on people on multiverses about as much as in real life, so yep. Yep, this was Ikami, guys, is bailing. Alright, this new leader that shows players have reached Master's tier in most characters. Show the world you're not just a specialist by I mean, I keep pinball as my characters too, so I don't think I'm going to get any to Grandmaster because I'll start switching around a little bit. Gotta be a jack of all trades, master of none. Players now choose to concede a rank that's like, yeah. I had people alt F4, I'm pretty sure, after I did a match with them, and it's just like, yeah, I don't blame you. Players can now immediately prompted bronze, silver if they win a game, and like it's not fun if you just barely play the game, you're just getting trounced on. So that's often the case for me in different games, except I'm not even friends. Oh, nice, right on, Pixel. How you doing? I've also been practicing other games too, like Overwatch, DNF Duel, which is a traditional fighter. So I'm practicing all the games. Gonna jack all the games. To win a game with a high MMR, there is now less difference in RP rewards between Gold 5 and Platinum 5. Potential RP loss, game is now capped at all tiers. Okay, yeah, this isn't stuff that's gonna matter to me much. Yo, look at that fried egg sandwich. At my own pace and playing with others tends to, yeah, I feel that too. Yeah, especially because a lot of times, I know for me, I like to just get up and wander sometimes in between sets, so like I'll do it as a small break more than anything else. Well, I don't necessarily try to, you know, hop in games with people as little as I do, or much, whatever, word's hard. Alrighty. A myriad of general combat changes attempt to reward more of. I am thinking I need to try Brawlhalla more too again. Now that I've been doing more of these games and that. Because Brawlhalla I stopped because I was bad and I had to get good and I didn't like it. So that's the main reason. And I've been feeling a little more of an itch to get back to it. Maybe Smash Ultimate too, but probably not online. But maybe for modding again. Affect all fighters universally, but any additional character specific changes will be listed in the character patch notes. Oh, yeah, they're changing it up, because I know a lot of people have been asking for, like, faster movement in this game, which I kind of get it, too, yeah. I don't necessarily want it for 2v2s, because 2v2s are already crazy enough as it is at times, so you start adding a bunch of people just really trying to blast at each other in a 2v2, and stuff just starts getting mashed on everywhere. So, but I do like the way they're approaching trying to do the faster. It's not just like, oh, let's just turn up all the speed values, because that's not necessarily gonna. Like Finn was a kind of a problem in the beta because the game was so fast and he had so many kill moves and combos, so he was just a very oppressive character because of that. And I think a lot of projectile characters were tougher to deal with too because everything's so fast. It's really hard to not only dodge these multiple projectiles while you're moving so fast, and also the enemy is zoning you in different ways around these projectiles. So I feel like part of the reason why the projectile characters felt so bad in the beta was also due in part to that very high speed of the game. So Feather, friend Feather's 4th champion weight at any world of pecking at buttons. You're dang straight, darn tootin'. Non-bird binary. Feather flights of the night crawl while watching over the protect the travels of the night from the nest atop your chipper to the rainbow. Well, thank you for that. Raven, hope you're doing well. Hope you've been pecking at some good buttons yourself. Dodge cancels. Dodge attacks now only cost 2 units of dodge meter, down from 3 dodge attacks. That was like a was it just 2 units? I guess that probably makes sense. Was it actually down from 3? I thought 3 was like I'll have to look at that. I feel like there might be a typo in there somewhere, but I'm not sure. Dodge attacks and dodge jumps now play a special visual effect to help with clarity of all players. Receiving a hit. I like this. One of the things I like about multiverses is trying to add like visual feedback so you can see what's actually happening while it's happening. Like how armored characters get that like yellow shield stuff over them and that. I find that's really helpful to know when you know, are supposed to be aware of what's happening with that maneuver. So I do like having that visual feedback, unlike Smash Ultimate, which is just like Luigi's down special in there has frame 1 intangibility. When and why, I'm not sure. But like you can hit him, go straight through him. Why? He's spinning, I guess. So I do like the fact that they would try to add more special visual effects instead of just adding special abilities. So receiving a hit after a dodge cancel where the initial dodge avoided an attack will now remove the dodge text pop-up. Okay, that does always feel bad. Half the time it's 2 because you're trying to do a dodge jump and the jump cancels your dodge, so you're like halfway through the move before you get smacked. You get punished for being greedy, basically. Something I've had to learn to stop doing. It's something I still will find other players doing too. I was playing Morty because I was like, you know what, he's got missions for the Cybucks. He's a character in game without spending money for that, so I picked him up, went into 1v1 ranks because that's how I got to get my Cybucks. Ran into another Morty, and I'm like, I have no idea how to play this character. He was so weird in the beta. I got a general idea, forgot like all that, went in there, played a completely different game, but I relied on the fact that that dude was trying to be schmoovin', and I was just waiting for him to be on burnout the whole time while he's doing his schmoovement and his special grenades and stuff. I should not have won most of those matches I had. I think I beat like a Finn too, which just felt so incredibly bizarre by the end and a little bad because I had to be a campy boy. But yeah, it's I do like some of the changes they're doing here, even regards to those matches too. I think be a good way to kind of still emphasize movement and stuff. So dodge jump cancel window while dodge meter is empty for delayed 18 frames. Yeah, because you can still do a dodge jump to like get a bunch of speed even if you were on burnout. And the fact that that was a thing, it's like, well, you still have the movement of that, so what, that doesn't necessarily make sense. So yeah. Okay, fix an issue where fighters could sometimes dodge into the ground without dodge landing. Dodge land cancel. So yeah, the dodge landing is supposed to add ways to approach enemies. You don't have iframes, but you have additional movement, so it's a good mix-up for approaches, but also punishable because you can end up with a dodge jump situation, because when you dodge land, it cancels your iframes and puts it into movement. So dodge land cancel will advance 7 frames. Fatigue cancel window delayed 5 frames. Fighters now retain more momentum on a dodge land. Fighters now have more movement control on the ground during a dodge land. I'm not even sure if this was an intended thing or if it was something that somebody found, or if it was more it was kind of intended and it took a while for some players to find it, because I know Void was one who I first saw talking about it because he saw someone else do like a dodge land, so he was like labbing it out. And so yeah, it might have been something that was intentional and they were kind of just waiting for people to find it a little bit, even like an Easter egg, so and see how it gets received. I could be wrong, but Base dodge fatigue time increased to 10 seconds from 8 seconds. Nice. Fighters, wall cling. I never really found people clinging on the walls was a big issue for me. Like, for me, the longer they're clinging onto the wall is like, oh yeah, no, you're just giving me more opportunity to prep a ledge guard, you know? If you're gonna stay down there, then I'm gonna... Like, that's how I kind of felt about it. Like, maybe it's more of a top end thing. Like, I don't know, I've on this game, especially with like characters like Superman who can't just spike you into the dirt anymore with some of those things. Like, no, yeah, you can stay down there. I will be patient. Like, I got no problems with you being down there. Like, this isn't like a big thing for me. So yeah, maybe it was for higher end or even just general players, but yeah, basically you hang on the side of the wall and you're gonna be able to be punished for it. I think Dragon was talking about some people hiding down there, and also some of the strats she would use on them. There's also a lot of points I feel like Dragon's just better at this game than I am, but I also do pinball too many characters and try dumb stuff, so it probably doesn't help me. Certain attacks can now be classified as low priority hitboxes like jabs. Low priority attacks cannot trade with normal attacks. If a low priority attack connects with an enemy on the same frame the attacker is hit with a normal attack, the low priority will be ignored. Character specific low priority attacks will be listed in the character patch notes. They did this largely with jabs, and I feel like a character that it'll affect a lot is Jack. Jack has a lot of pokes, and one thing Jack could also do is just roll away and do his jab over and over, and he kind of would just either trump out whatever the other person was trying to do or trade with them so they don't really get any advantage. And Jack is a character too who already has so many pokes in that, and so many ways to just combo you with those pokes, that it can feel really bad how much he can do with that jab, because he is just Stretch Armstrong at times, it kind of feels like. So I think it'll probably affect characters like him like the most, especially with how long that was. It'll force him to pick other counter attacks, which would be nice. Characters that probably won't affect... I'm gonna message this. Characters I think it won't affect as much with this will be, I think, characters like Gizmo, who doesn't have a very long jab anyways, so he most of the time is trying to stop something from coming out before he's like really trying to beat something out. So I feel like characters like maybe even Steven too, with his short range on it, like he's not normally using it as a spacing tool. So I'm not sure how some other characters might do it. Like I feel like Harley might be okay because she already has different approach options, but Harley also feels like she takes a lot of good space and good patience to kind of get her ins at times, compared to a lot of how other characters fit now. So I haven't played her enough either to know as much, but I feel like, yeah, it'll affect Jack. I'm hoping it'll affect Jack a little more. Like that foot, man, that thing is just reaching. Terrain bounce is no longer affected by attack decay. Knockback reduced. Oh, yeah, I saw it. Apparently, yeah, using that knockback would sometimes increase like your knockback. I guess it's because it adds additional damage, and it's just like, yeah, a benefit of trying to combo with terrain. So I wonder if that means it's just reduced to the point it's less than the initial attack, or if it's just reduced because it was adding a lot. Because I know I was fighting a Superman who could have thrown me backwards into blast zone, but instead he threw me against the wall, and then I bounced off that and just got shot off the side like a can. I was like, oh, that probably just does more knockback? Okay, that's pretty cool. I mean, I got blasted by him, but man, was it cool. I also technically don't need my starting shortly up, but I'm probably playing a little bit, not too much. I am tired as frick, but yeah, I'll leave it up while I'm just rambling. New automatic ground teching. Oh yeah, where you're getting bounced into the floor over and over again. I'm not sure if this happens a lot in 1v1s, but now if you get spiked in the floor a couple times, you will automatically tech, which is like a roll, or you will tech in place if you're not holding a direction. I think this is more so better for twos a little bit, at least in my experience, because I don't normally have too much issues getting constantly comboed into the ground like that. Partially, I guess, if you're like trying to make sure you're DIing away or just avoiding spikes in general, maybe that's part of it. I'm not fighting people most of the time who really know how to take advantage of that kind of stuff, so it could be part of it. But yeah, I think it's a fine addition though, especially in twos, because if like, I think that's the point I'll notice it, where your partner is kind of comboing them and you're able to get like a couple spikes on them while they're being staggered. It can kind of give them an out instead of being stuck in a corner getting slapped around by Stripe and Harley, you know? It could be a bit rough at times, just sponging so much damage in a corner just from like just a few bad choices suddenly put you up at a whole bunch of percent. Automatic tech will not occur if the floor bounce happens too soon after the first terrain bounce. This will allow us to add more ground bounce combos without the fear of accidentally introducing infinite loops like in the future. Yeah, that makes sense. They don't like their infinite stuff, the stuff where they can... In general, something I've noticed with this game, I feel like there's a lot more people who I would fight online that are trying to do infinite combos, but don't really have any concept of spacing. So they're like constantly trying to catch me in their combo, and as kind of their last resort at times too, to the point that sometimes I feel like they're just running into my attacks. Well, not as much anymore, like higher skill characters too, I think, just tend to have spacing too. So, but yeah, that was like the biggest thing I noticed from a lot of new players, where they didn't really seem to have any kind of sense of like spacing or platform fighter sense in general, but they would have that like one grounded combo that they're trying to get off. And so yeah, this might make some of these guys upset. I don't know, really. I actually have no idea if it makes them upset, but I do wonder how much of this was or wasn't a problem either. I know I could DI out a lot of things that could be considered infinites. Some of them are scary though, because you can still take so much damage while trying to DI out of some of these combos. So yeah, I think a lot of this still makes sense. Turn on bug fixes, fix an issue at end of game, and mission damage dealt states were inaccurate. Yeah, this game can't math. I've been saying it for a bit. This game can't math. Makes an issue with certain attacks were traded incorrectly. That probably also makes sense. I have had weird instances. Certain actions while wrung out. I'm hoping it's taunting. I want someone to be able to see the GG pop up in the bottom of the screen after I get wrung out. Deflect the projectile now increases the projectile speed 25%. I gotta say, it's something about this perk that actually just kind of sucks big nards. Like yeah, okay, this is where if you parry a projectile, it reflects it, right? You can't parry heavy projectiles. I tried to use it on Bugs rocket. I parried it. It still hit me though, because the rocket is just going still. It's not affected by the parry at all. So it's like, allow me to do this super cool move that literally does nothing for me. So I don't know if this perk is good with that in mind. Like, I don't... Like, the parry is a good tool, but not being able to... Like, you should at least be able to destroy the projectile, at least, I guess. I don't know. It just feels a little bad when you're, when you actually get the thing to parry a projectile, and it's like, yeah, but it's only certain projectiles that you aren't worried about. And the high risk, high reward is just all risk, no reward for this. It's just... There's a reason why Bugs is still a menace. He's got two of the most devastating projectiles in the game, and that dude has movement. Alright, bug fixes, nerf, etc. Buff. Need water. I'm out of water. Should probably get water. I've been doing this half an hour only. Dang, I gotta go get water already. Alright guys, let me know whose buffs you're most excited about here while I go get my water quickly. Be. Oh, I kind of missed what Pixel said there earlier. Didn't realize he burning out on Brawlhalla lately. Yeah, that's kind of the same thing I had too. Once I had to get good. Yeah, I'm probably a little burnt out with multiverses too, but I think more half of that is just the summer. It's so sweaty. Like I probably sweat a lot in general, and then playing multiverse in the summertime, too much sweat, too many. All right, let's get back to this here. Agent Smith ground down special. That's the agent man he sends at him. Fix an issue where the agent code would remain idle if Smith was... Ah, okay. Fix an issue where the agent code would whiff grab if it hit... The agent clone would hit enemies that were above the clone's head. Would not turn around at ledges. Ah, yeah, I was noticing that. I thought at times he would hit a ledge and then run around a little bit more. And then he would just stop at a ledge sometimes. And it's like, oh, maybe I imagined that? No, apparently it's an issue. Okay. Head hurt box size increase will fix certain projectiles whiffing versus Arya on the ground. Okay. It's funny. Arya's neutral dodge playing the wrong animation. Ground neutral attack. Hitbox duration reduced 2 frames. That's a nerf. Okay. Forward movement speed slightly increased. Distance unchanged. Yeah, that's her kind of like step back. That parry thrust, you know? Parry thrust. Air side attack. Change knockback multiplier reduced from 2. So she's mostly had nerfs. I heard she is really good in 1v1, so I'm guessing that's what this is addressing more so. It does seem like a lot of like the tier list I've seen too seem like they're more focused on 1v1s, less on 2v2. I think it's like a overall theme, but it's 1v1s. I think I need to look it up more. I've not kept up on like content as much either with that. I probably should. Half the problem is I'll watch it and then I want to play it. So I mean, sometimes I just watch it just because I try to keep up on it, but yeah. Charge knocker multiplier reduced to 1.25 from 1.6. That is a lot. I know at times that move was, I think it's because the side attack, it hits so high or launches so high it can, because I remember getting rung out by this when I was like pretty low down. I got hit with a side attack and the angle is just like a diagonal angle, and I was getting rung out pretty low percentages. So I don't know if this is too much of an overextension there, but air down attack. Repeat move lockout increased to... I also don't play her enough or play against her. Like I've played against a few of them in online. Not necessarily even 1v1s more than 2v2s, but I want to say 1v1s a little bit more. I have lost to her as a Shaggy. So those guys just better. Like there's not many other ways to put it. I did not know how to handle Arya. Still don't. Need to get my practice in on her at some point, so. Repeat move lockout increased to 20 frames from 8. Repeat move lockout increased to 20 frames to 15. Okay. Banana Guard. You felt like Banana Guard could use more combo starter approach options for making adjustments on air neutral attack to serve that air on cancel. Okay. That makes sense. Yeah, his neutral attack did feel very underwhelming. Like, it wasn't necessarily hard to hit, but it wasn't great for hitting either, and it's not like it really put you in a very good spot for much when you hit with it. Ground down special. On hit cancel. I ran into a Banana Guard and ranked. At first I was having trouble figuring them out, and then I kind of got more used to it later on. Figuring out how to space their side special and stuff. And then like near the end, they were like going for this move a little bit, and I was a little bit confused why. Like, you got an infinite, or not infinite, you got a 0 to death or like a good combo you're trying to get here, and yeah, sure enough, they were trying to get the upward combo to ring me out, so they were just doing this over and over, crying on the ground. Yeah, there you go. So they didn't quite get me. I normally just try to hard DI down and right most of the time, because a lot of people are trying to ring you out off the top, so that just seems like it counters a lot of those combos. What you really need to do is figure out the combo that'll really get to spike someone. That'll mix it up. Oh, they're thinking too high, you gotta think low. Probably shouldn't give too many tips on how to beat me, because I'm not that great yet, so I have not been on the grind. We are trying to make air down special. Crashing just is less centralizing and more challengeable. Oh, 1 second. Alright, did you guys like how I just overlay my timesies on top of my starting shortly? It's very professional, I'm sure. Alright, we had some food delivery. Arrived a little earlier than expected, so... Alright, where are we at? We were at... Batman. The dive kick. Less centralized and more challengeable. We need to evaluate how to make it. So... This movie is pretty good. I remember facing a Batman in twos. Actually, 2 Batmans. It was... Last night, it was... Agent Smith and Batman, 2 sets in a row. Different Agent Smith and Batman. I remember he was using diving kick a bit. I know I was playing pretty bad. I was so tired last night, probably didn't help, but I was playing Stripe, and I was having a hard time figuring it out. But after a little bit, I started realizing how to space it and that, so. But yeah, battering will only attempt to home in towards Batman for a maximum of 3 seconds. Battering would be destroyed if Batman is still the owner of the battering when he's rung out. It will be destroyed if Batman is still the owner of the battering when he attempts to spawn a new one. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Air down special. Startup window increase 6 frames. Leg hurtbox size. Hurtbox size increase. Oh. Hitbox size reduced. Okay, yeah, I guess it did seem pretty big where you would kind of get hit by the aura of the calf. So. Black Adam, weight reduced to 75 from 85. Okay, I was thinking Black Adam played more like a... Well, he kind of plays like a tank. Bruiser, I think, still fits for him, but with how he plays in general, and when you compare him to characters like Steven, he does kind of feel more like a tank. The fact that his weight is reduced to 75, though. Hold up. I did some, like, math on this stuff before. I need to do some updates with Beetlejuice and Agent Smith, I think. Jack. Beetlejuice and Jack. I think I got Agent Smith. I did some weights, though. That's where I'm getting with this. Agent Smith on here. No, I don't think Agent Smith is on this one. Yeah, Black Adam weighed 88. Well, in my testing, I was basing on the percentage to get rung on Batcave to a few different moves here. Yeah, his weight for me was about 88, 90, 89. Just below Jason, just above Garnet. Now his weight, if it's down to 75, I can guess that he might weigh about as much as Taz or Velma, which I think is a little weird, but yeah, he does have a lot of good moves though, so maybe that's part of it, and the fact that he can fly so well, but I'm not sure if this is a great way to balance him, but yeah, because I guess there's like so many things that Black Adam has that it's hard to be like reducing his weight is going to have the biggest effect. At least as far as a good balance for him, because he has like his clap is such a good neutral attack. I swear it's broken projectiles I've tried to shoot at him before. It also breaks armor. It's a ring out move. It's something that controls space. The only downside to it is that it's like kind of slow, but like you can also space it in pretty well too because of how much you can glide with it. So it's like it's a really good move. He has good ladder combos, especially with a lot of stages where you start adding platforms in. He is just oppressive to kind of chase you up into the sky. He's got weird armor and lightning attacks that he can kind of just throw out, and it can be super hard to just avoid getting stuck in his combos up to the sky. And yeah, so reducing his weight is like that's fun and all. I guess maybe it's a good change. We'll have to see. Bugs Bunny hitbox size reduced, so it's less likely for bugs to hit enemies from behind. Air side attack. Oh yeah. Okay, that makes sense. A lot of hitboxes in this game seem like they're trying to make them not feel so oppressive. Like a lot of Harley's mallet attacks aren't as they don't catch as well from behind, not nearly as much as they once were, which is fine. But I feel like other characters like Bugs have been a little bit slow to get that treatment. But I guess yeah, they're still figuring it out. So. Their size special rocket is considered an untechable surface. Okay. Knockback made more horizontal. That makes sense, yeah. Probably didn't want people just getting blasted off the top from, yeah. Okay, it's considered an untechable surface. Fix an issue where the tunneling visual effects were not displaying while Bugs was underground. I've had that happen before, actually. Yeah. So yeah, not much huge on this guy, so they did already nerf him a bit with his projectiles and that. He still feels really good with how much he can kind of use his he can carry his momentum into his nair. I will say if you can figure out how to... No, I was gonna say if you can figure out how to slug with Bugs Bunny, it helps slow him down a lot, but he has a lot of good projectiles, so he doesn't necessarily need to slug. He just can, and pretty well too, so... If anything, I'd say he's probably like more bruiser than like Morty or Harley. Finn is living up to his ideal as a speedy, combo-heavy assassin a little too well right now, and his ability to carry opponents across the stage resulting in very low damage ringouts. Yeah, that happens. It's kind of was his issue in the beta. I haven't noticed him as much lately, but I hear he is a menace in 1v1, so... Nope. And I think that's kind of the reason too, where I would say you don't want to just speed up the game a whole bunch, because then characters like Finn, maybe even Shaggy, they start to be more over-centralizing. Shaggy's also already, I think, is in a pretty good space right now too, for a few different reasons. But yeah, Finn is I wouldn't say I've found Finn as much of a hassle, but I also have not been grinding. So I think part of it is I'm not fighting nearly as many people who might be good with characters. So it's hard for me to have a good gauge on this stuff right now. Whereas before, I felt like I was playing enough to get a general idea, but not as much lately. So we have to promote a little more offense from Finn by reducing his ability to charge the attacks for extended periods of time, while also making his combo game a little easier to deal with. Similar thing with Taz, especially with like his ground up sandwich that he can chase you with forever. So now he has a minimum he can hold at. Maximum charge rate reduced to 1.5 from 4 seconds. Holy crap! I mean, you could have done half that, and that still would have been a big change. On with cancel delayed 4 frames. On with cancelled window delayed 6 frames. Okay. Yeah, I think that checks out. No longer launches Finn forward on hit. Cooldown removed. Oh. Cooldown wait. Air neutral attack. That's his kick. Cooldown removed. There's a cooldown? Was the cooldown the forward launch? Man, I thought that neutral attack was pretty cool before. Oh man. I was just playing with Mal last night just a little bit. He was enjoying Finn and then just nerfed his neutral attack. Air ground neutral special. Maximum charge time reduced. Okay, come on. You gotta at least let the high five. You gotta put the high five 2 seconds. You gotta do it, man. You got the high five. You gotta keep that up there low. Okay, I get the 1.5 here. You know, you don't want to do 2 seconds there. I get. You gotta keep this at 2. The high five, man, for friendship. All right, you gotta do this for Tony. You gotta do it for friendship. All right. I know I don't want to over centralize Finn, but man, you need to make the high. You gotta do it for the friendship, man. A high five for friendship. I'm so upset. This is one thing I'm upset about so far. It's this just a little bit, but not really, but kinda am. Ground down special. Boots of speed buff duration increased to 25 seconds from 10. Well, I mean, that's not bad. 10 seconds is kind of short, I guess, in the grand scheme of things. Like, I mean, 10 seconds is a really long time. Well, yeah, 25 seconds is a lot. But I could also see how that 10 seconds you might get like 1 interaction really while you're using that, so it's not like the buff is hugely noticeable. As far as I've been able to tell, like when an enemy uses this, like yeah, they're a little bit faster, but so maybe that's why instead of just increasing the speed a bunch, they increase the duration. 25 seconds still seems like a long time. Like going from 4 to 1.25 seems pretty extreme, while going from 10 to 2.5 is kind of a different kind of extreme. Alright, ground side attack. Now applies armor on startup. Oh! Yeah, they removed the armor on that a while ago. I'm pretty sure. Because it was so oppressive. And it was... Garnet is a character that I feel like she's given the recommended tag when I feel like she's harder to use than like Arya. Because she can't really just combo automatically. You have to be diligent about how you want to combo and hit moves with her. Whereas Arya, I feel like you can mash more. Like Garnet is heavy, that helps, but she also doesn't have nearly as much armor as she used to. Maybe that's just a me thing, but I do feel like Garnet as a character, at least maybe before this patch, hasn't really had a lot of things that work well with each other, so she's kind of working on these one-off attacks, and it makes her harder to use than the game kind of suggests. So hitbox size increased to better match visuals. Hitbox active. Oh, that might help too, because I didn't use this move much because I never felt like I could get it in. Maybe this will help with that. Active duration increased 4 frames to better match visuals. Startup window before charge reduced 3 frames. Really? Okay. Yeah. I know when I was facing a Garnet, I felt like the Nair was one of her better moves. Not necessarily opposed to this too, but yeah, I was like, I think I was playing a Shaggy. No, I was playing a Gizmo, had a Jack on my team. That was the guy we were doing the matches with. And it felt like with Garnet, I could not quite figure out how to stop her descending with this. Like, as Gizmo, I normally like just trying to juggle people forever. But with Garnet, and I forget what team it was, but they're pretty helpful too. But I remember that descending Nair was like really hard to get at, and I'm pretty sure Jack had issues with that. Like the one character Jack and I had trouble with was like Garnet. Which is not a, which as far as I know is not like a busted character by any means, but that descending Nair was just hard. Jack as a character too feels like he struggles a little bit to juggle characters anyways. I could be wrong on that, but like he seems like he's good for like getting combos when he starts hitting people on the ground, but he doesn't seem like a huge combo character or juggle character. He's a bit more just calculated on the ground if anything than that, so. Calculated and comboed. I could be wrong, but I'm still figuring out a lot of it. I still gotta figure out Jack, man, because he gives me problems, and I'm starting to learn him more, but he also still feels really good, so. First hit hitbox size reduced to better match visuals. Ah, dang, man. Gizmo, my boy! Head hitbox size increase will fix certain project. Dang. His head is already so big, and when I'm sitting down on the ground, I've managed to. I really want to be able to just crouch underneath bugs safe if I have to. Okay, game. Okay, give that to me. Okay, I've had bugs launch a safe at me before, and I was able to just duck it. I position myself. I see it come. I was like, "This is the spot." Just squat and pray. Added maximum charge time of 1.9. Air. Oh. Oh, yeah. That makes sense. Gizmo's bow and arrow is like one of the few projectiles that can cover the entire arena. They already had to nerf it a bit, which rightfully so. Like I said this before a little bit, but when I was playing Gizmo in the beta, I was like used to doing like 200% damage to a Finn in order to ring him out because he had no kill moves, whereas Finn had to do considerably less, so I was used to that. So when they gave him, you know, I had like just a few kill moves, it's like, dang, are you sure? That seems like a lot. Like 3 kill moves now. Holy crap. So when they started nerfing the arrow where he doesn't get a refund on a full charge, it's like, yeah, no, that definitely makes sense. That thing is way too oppressive in its current state, especially with how much you use popcorn and music as like a trap wall defensive measure. And then I think they reduced the full ammunition to it of 3, and you could just hold it out the entire time. So yeah, I think this is a necessary change for that bow and arrow. It's still very good. It's not nearly as busted as it once was, but the ability to just shoot across the screen is not something most characters have. Like Velma got nerfed into the dirt after the beta because everyone hated her so much that it was an over adjustment to the point where she became absolute trash, which we'll get to her in a little bit too. Fingers crossed on that. That's why I'm more excited to play her than Beetlejuice, even though Beetlejuice does seem like my style. So fix an issue where holding the neutral special bind would not continue the attack. Yeah, I had that issue. I kept having that issue where I would hit that button and it wasn't working. Okay. It would just do one la, and then that's it. Air ground up special. On hit counts will be delayed 3 frames. Yeah, yeah, because you can combo that a lot into like his up attack. Like his up attack, I feel like is one of his best moves because he can juggle so well with it, and it's good at ringing out. And if you're not using it to ring it out, you can just keep your opponent. You can try to force your opponent to a bad situation by just constantly slapping at him. So his up attack is pretty impressive. So at the very least, stopping him from Bishop Bell, do this straight into it. Knockback angle made more horizontal. I think that makes sense. It did kind of ring. Knockback increase though? Hold on. No, you can't do that, man. Oh no. Oh. I'ma just. Sure. Yeah, we're gonna try that. I'm just gonna try to ring out people more with that move. I use this move sometimes when they're like trying to spike me just to bash them against the wall and then climb up. It's a good catch maneuver, isn't it? So Harley Quinn dash attack. Harley Quinn's another character who I feel like got like a little bit over adjusted, but I think she's actually fine. At least in 2 she seems like she's good. I know some people have said like in 1 she's just okay, good, maybe not great. I'm not sure where she is right now though. I have not kept up on that, but she does kind of feel like a character has been a bit harder to play and doesn't really have the same tools of a lot of other characters, while also just being light. But she does have a lot of weird approaches she can do, so I think that's what makes her stand out though. So dash attack made its hit mark instead of multiple hits to drop less. Okay. Ground down attack. Finishing where Harley could cancel the second kick on hit by taunting. Nice. She's been having some taunt issues like that. Air up special. Hitbox size reduced. Ground version unchanged. Hitbox matches visuals. I guess it probably makes sense. I feel like we were talking about how good Bugs can slug. Like his up air bat does so much damage, and it's so big. And then you look at Joker's crowbar, so good at ringing out, so good at catching people. And then Harley Quinn's up special bat, it's like smaller than like both of those. It's like weaker than both of those, and she doesn't even really rise up with it. It's not even good for recovery because she doesn't rise at all with it. Like this up special has been nerfed so much at some point. Like I don't know what happened, but like her bat is kind of like, I mean, it's good for ringing out, sure. It's still good for ringing out, but like if you were to ask me like, hey, would you rather have Harley Quinn's up special or Bugs up attack, yeah, or up air, like yeah, Bugs up air, would you rather have Harley Quinn's up special or Joker's up air? Like yeah, I'll take Joker's up air. Like you're not really getting height off this, and there's just better moves out there. Makes it a very not that special, but like it's still good. It's just much rather have some other moves, you know. Like I'd much rather have Gizmo's up special, especially now. Jeepers, this little furball grabbing your butt is gonna blow you up. Iron Giant, air side attack, no field knockback reduced. No field knockback. Oh, okay. This fixes an issue where the no fuel version had higher knockback than the fuel version of the. What? That's weird. Okay. Rage mode ground attack. Repeat move lockout increased. Okay. Got rage mode. I just don't even know how to feel about rage mode, man. It comes. There's a bunch of crap that flies around whenever I do. I just start mashing all the buttons, and then when it's done, I try to play normal again. And then when I go to rage mode, mash all the buttons. Rage mode is a trip, man. Raid mode. Raid Shadow Legends sponsor. It's not a sponsor. Jake has been underperforming for a while due to over centralized strength of his bite neutral special. Oh yeah. We were looking to evaluate some quality of life buffs in the future patch to make his strategy less bite dependent. I feel like they need to make him more like a support character. I think like the bite being able to give your ally armor is a pretty good thing. I also know what they're talking about with that bite ability, because you would take him off to the ledge and you would spin him at the wall. Characters would try to keep grabbing you for it because they didn't really have any kill moves. I don't know if that's necessarily due to his over-centered strength of his bite neutral special. I don't know if that's a good statement or not. Underperforming. over essentially strength. I don't think the strength of his bite special has made him suck. I think he has other issues going on that have nothing, that is like, oh, this one good move he has. Because I don't know if he, I mean, he might have some good stuff. He does have like his splits, which is a good anti-armor, his down attack, stuff like that, but sometimes he has a hard time getting it in. I need to play him more too, but that is a weird way to approach that, I guess. Like, yeah, if we just get rid of his good move, he'll be better. That's how that kind of sounds, which probably, there's probably more to it than that, and this is probably could be absolutely fine, and I have no idea what I'm talking about, because I don't actually, I'm guessing. So, anyways, fixed an issue where Jake's neutral judges were not playing their ending animations. Yeah, air down attack. A floor bounce incurred from this first attack will not count towards the automatic tech bounce stretch rule. Nice. Air ground neutral special. Armor duration from eating an ally reduced to 1.5. Really? That seems pretty long. I mean, I kind of get it. Eating an ally now interrupts their current action. Okay, that makes sense. So one thing I will say about this is it kind of puts him more into this bite won't be used to armor your allies, which to me is kind of makes sense. 1.5 seconds. Like, one thing I gotta say about that too is there's a perk where if you parry a projectile you get armor or something, right? And I would try to use that, and your armor like goes away by the time you're done with the parry animation, so it does very little. Like, I don't know what the point is of parrying a projectile to get armor that covers your parry animation. Like, it seems like a very, I'm not sure who's going to use that perk is the thing, and how it's going to be super effective, unless you're like getting comboed by the projectile, so when you parry the projectile you have armor to stop the next attack in that combo. But like, is somebody, it's like Bug's throwing a pie and he's coming in with his nair, but his nair is going to break that anyways. Yeah, I don't know, man. This probably makes sense. This is a very short amount of time of armor for your ally to utilize, but 4 seconds is a very long time too, so 1.5 can feel like a lot. So I don't know. That's a lot of me thinking, and sometimes I don't know if it's just because the game isn't mathing very well, because it also said that one projectile perk where you run on the ground for 4 seconds and you get lightning on your next projectile. I have to walk on the ground for like half a second and it'll do it, so I don't know what the math is in this game sometimes, so it's wrong a lot. It's really hard to keep up with it. Like, it says one number, but it feels like a completely different one. Okay, Jason, ground up. I know I'm talking a lot of crap. I still really enjoy a lot of the aspects of this game, even with those, in spite of those, and even with the stuff they're trying to add in there. But man, is it confusing. Ground up attack. First hit prevents terrain bounce on knockback. Final hit unchanged. First hit prevents terrain bounce. Ground up. That's his bed. I don't know what that's suggesting. Ground down attack. Fix an issue where using this attack could ring out Jason if the ground was broken during the attack. Oh! That's his stomp. Okay. That's interesting. Air neutral special. Now his armor during... Whoa! Hold up. That's his grab attack. Okay. He finally has a move with armor. Like, Jason was like the only tank that had 0 armor. Like, even Steven technically did with his shield. Like, Steven's also just a weird tank as it is, but... Fix an issue where Jason would get wrung out while Resurrection was active, causing a double ring out. Yo, sick. Make me dab. Oh, here it come, Winty. Oh my god. There you go. How you doing, Winty? You totally saw what I did there, right? Good dab I did. Congratulations to LeBron Jams on winning gold. In celebration, we've given LeBron some buffs, but only because he won. Our new auto tech system allows to prevent the infinite loop that was occurring due to being able to repeatedly ground bounce opponents, so we're reverting the change to air down special from the latest hotfix. Nice. Nice, I knew it, Winnie. I knew it. Finger guns. Finger gun noises. Dabbing noises. Ground side special. More consistently combos into ground side attack. Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, if you're DIing hard out, if you might just slip right out real easy. Air ground side special. Land side special. Land cancel when advance to 4 frames. Air down special. Start up when reduce 5 frames. This is where, yeah, so now you can't just constantly pinball people against the ground with LeBron's balls. I know with LeBron, one of the things that I do want to play it more too, but yeah, his balls can get oppressive. It's a very, I feel like he should be assassin. Like the way he constantly changes his approach to enemies. I feel like he should be an assassin. Like here, Marvin. Marvin's role now is mages instead of assassin. Yeah. Is that the only change they've done? They finally did it! They finally changed Morty to a mage. Thank God. This character was the main character. Like, you want to put, like, talking about how these roles make no sense. Like, you try to logic it out, like, okay, I can see Marvin being an assassin, I can see LeBron being a bruiser, and then you just get to Morty. It's like, I don't know who held a gun to Tony's head for this one, but man, somebody really wanted Morty to be a bruiser. Anyways, let's get back to Marvin. Ours role as a mage instead of assassin. I think that makes sense. He's shenanigans incarnate. Head hurt box size increased. Okay. He has a big head as it is, so hopefully it doesn't hurt him too much. Morty's role is now mage instead of a bruiser. Like, I've been saying this for a little bit too, because I know before in the beta they were like trying to like adjust him where like his bruiser moves were pretty good. And maybe I'll just have to kind of show a little bit why Morty is not a good bruiser and why that was problematic. But like, I know I've said this a few times already in different ways, but like they were trying to like buff his bruiser moves and nerf his projectile moves, but he has like 3 bruiser moves, and then, you know, he's got some support moves, he's got some ranged moves, he summons an entire spaceship, he has snake guns that he shoots out that are just like, he doesn't really have much for up attack. He has a scrubber device that does stuff. It's one of his better bruiser moves actually, even though he's just scrubbing the floor. It's just, and the fact that they were like trying to buff his bruiser moves so he feels more bruiser is like, okay, so you're gonna just nerf like 90% of his moves so he has 3 good moves and that's it? Is that the plan? Like, but they probably had to like talk with the producers of Rick and Morty, like, look, we can't have this guy be a bruiser. All right, we got 2 different snake guns on him. I have no idea how to make this character a bruiser without him being absolutely busted. And they're like, do it then. And Tony's like, F you. And then he jumped out the skyscraper window and flew away on his bat a ring or something. Anyways, air up attack. On hit cancel, window delayed 4 frames. On whiff cancel, window delayed 8 frames. Yeah, that's a good move, just combo people up in there. Yeah, it's good stuff. People trying to descend on me. Fire! 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 Like, I played Morty in ranked, and I was just playing a completely different game than probably intended. People probably hated me for different reasons. Air down attack. Hitbox size increased to better match visuals. Yeah, I guess. That's one of his bruiser moves, you know, his big arm. One of his, like, 2 of his bruiser moves are just in the air, down attack and forward attack. And then he has his side attack on the ground. And that's pretty much all his bruiser moves. God bless, Morty. Good luck being a mage. Air ground down special. Fixing ensure Rainox Fireball had no hurt box. This will fix issues with reflection and projectile clank interactions. That is interesting. Okay, was that related to why I couldn't block it in the one Rift mode? Is that just bad math on the game's part again? Rick has become very frustrated for opponents due to the large size of his jab and how often players use the move in neutral. Yep, that's a big one. We want to reduce the strength of his jab while also giving him better combo tools across the kit to increase diversity in his moveset. Makes an issue where Rick could not use instant air dodge cancel to use sides aerial specials near the ground. Okay. Ground side attack. Startup window before charge increased 4 frames. Hitbox size reduced. On whiff cancel delay 10 frames. Yeah, it was a pretty good jab. It's pretty good. On hit cancel window from side attack 3 advance 1 frame. Okay. Side attack 3 startup window before charge reduce 1 frame. Cancel window delay 1 frame. Rocket spawn time advances 2 frames. With increase the rocket. So I think that makes sense. Make the initial part of the jab, which is just him slugging, not feel so oppressive for people up close. But then kind of give a benefit too once you get the rocket out there. It feels a lot better when you do get it, so. Ground up attack. First hit now more consistent combos into second hit. Oh yeah, the whip. The whip. Ground down attack. Bomb spam time advance 1. Bomb maximum detonation delay reduced to 3.5 from 0.5. Okay. Probably makes sense. Air ground neutral special. Fixed an issue where charged and uncharged waves were not properly handling projectile interactions. Air side attack. On hit general cancel window delay 6 frames. On hit cancel window into side special unchanged. Now ignores player collisions during movement. Now ignores player collisions? Okay. Hasn't really changed much. He's still got the... This is his pelvic thrust, by the way. It's a pretty good move. I know I would just spam that on computers just to be trolly. Sometimes people online, but I try to save that for, you know, computers, bots, all that. Air up attack. Charge damage multiplier increased. Ooh, wow! More upwards momentum is maintained on startup. Okay. Gonna be a ring out move now, apparently. Air down attack. Air hitbox active duration increased 2 frames. Now better match visuals. Hitbox size increased to better match visuals. Okay. I have to bring Morty. I do like Morty, not Morty, Rick a little bit more than Morty, so there's that. Meeseek's command window advanced 3 frames. Up Meeseek's hitbox size increased. Air neutral special. Hitbox size reduced. Hit stun increased. What's his neutral special? Oh, the Meeseeks. Yeah. Now ignores player collision during movement. Air ground special. What time is it here too? I should get up and take a potty break in a sec. I need to get up and stretch more regularly when I'm doing some of the stuff here, so. Especially today, my bones, man. Fixed an issue where fighters could dodge out of the portal travel. Ally or enemy? Air up special. Reduce backwards horizontal momentum during launch. Okay. Reduce backwards horizontal momentum. Oh, if he's like trying to use it while getting launched back, or if he's like jumping, he does a turnaround, he's less likely to just fly away with it a little bit. Or using up special near wall would not launch Rick upwards. Oh, that sounds like it'd be really bad, especially if he's like trying to recover from the ledge and he uses it and suddenly he's just dragging his face into the wall and just and gets spiked for it. So air ground down special. Polymorph debuff now shows a timer icon for remaining duration. That's a good thing to know. So how many more characters? Can I finish? Yeah, I'll finish reading this here. And then I'll go take a little break. Samurai Jack was released as an incredibly popular fighter, and players immediately found success with his strong side special and quick focus meter. My god, he feels so good in twos with this focus meter. It's like he plays a bit like Cloud, where he has focus meter as limit. It's not as obnoxious as Cloud's limit break, I would say, because Cloud's limit break he could charge randomly in neutral, whereas Jack can just get gray armor in exchange for reducing his focus. But it's also such a small amount of great armor, it's not really worth it to do that. But and he would also get focused multiple times in a match, just so easily, and then the side special itself covers so much ground, especially in twos. So then it's like it just covers this huge area, so you force people to just have to deal with that, while their partner just has that kind of free reign to do other stuff with it too. It's a lot, especially with his jab too. He would oftentimes roll, jab, or he'd do a side attack, roll, and he misses, and then he just rolls and jabs you, and it's just, he just feels so good in so many ways, and it's hard to get in on him. I know some people are saying his kill moves aren't great, which I have experienced that, but in two is the fact that he's applying weakened as well, like it makes it so much easier for your partner to ring out anyways. It's just, he has a lot of different stuff, and I'm kind of surprised he's not considered. Actually, I don't know where he falls in 2v2s. I know he's considered like A tier for 1v1s, and I can kind of see that, but I feel like in 2v2s he just has such a good poking potential, damage potential, combo potential, crowd control potential. Plus he has like command grab that can also counter projectiles. That command grab is also very strong. Like he just has a, like when you compare him to Jason, character, you know, who's kind of a swordy in his own right, kind of has a command grab in his own right, is way better than Jason. He's just not as heavy, but like Jason's main thing he does is get beat up, so it's like, yeah. Jason is still pretty good, but he's hard to use. Like you're just trying to stay out of a combo in a 2v2 situation is tough. And most of the time I'm not scared of him. But I did also fight a Jason in 1v1s as Gizmo, and I could not figure how to get off the ledge. I know there's a lot of things I could have done at that point. So I still get beat up by Jasons, and I still have no idea what I'm doing at times, especially with Jack yet. Anyways, main point is Jack feels really good. I'm still trying to figure out how to counter a lot of his stuff, so. We're toned down his side special as a do everything attack. It really did everything, man. And also reduce the number of times players can use the super strong focus spear attacks as singly. Just that thing just happens so many times, man. It is, you get at least 2 per stock easy. It's ridiculous. More in line with the rest of the cast. Yeah, also, it's not as bad as Cloud either, because Cloud gets like speed buff, damage buff, while he has limit, which is, I found Cloud's limit break just very, very DLC. It's very DLC is the best way I could put Cloud's limit break. Yeah, anyways, General, fix an issue where Jack was rotated perpendicular to terrain when terrain balancing. Fix an issue where Jack's stats animation when play when affected by Gizmo's rhythm's gonna get you perk. Oh, okay. Okay. Focus meter gain from hitting enemies reduced 30%. Focus meter gain from receiving hits reduced 25%. Yeah. I'm not a fan of comeback mechanics in general, and especially with Jack. Like I said, I feel like I feel like you just should not, like, getting hit should not charge your ability to kill somebody more. I know it's probably like they did want to kind of bring some Cloud in there and stuff. One of my least favorite things about Smash Bros are like the comeback mechanics and how only certain characters have them. So that's a me thing. I'm sure lots of people love comeback mechanics. I know one thing Overwatch 2 has going for it, which I'm interested in some of those updates, especially because I've been playing Hammond, another character who is a Chaos Gremlin and annoys people to death like Gizmo. One thing I like about that is everyone gets a comeback mechanic, and so yeah, it's at the very least, you know, go big, just do it on everyone. You know, don't just give it to like Jack and Shaggy, and you know, give everyone a comeback mechanic. You know, that's how I feel about it, at least. I don't want to just be on a few special characters at that point, like make it its own thing, but that's just me. Alright, I'm gonna stop around about it a little bit. Ground side attack. Hitbox size reduced. Yep, that's the jab. That foot just sticks out there. He's got like cleats on that thing the size of a dagger. Ground side attack too. Hitbox size reduced so it is less likely for Jack to hit enemies behind him. Yep. Has it reduced? Yep. that was the thing. You try to roll past that first kick, he's hitting you with the sword, even though you're just mostly past him. And it's really hard to space that roll because his kick is so freaking long. It's like a sword in itself. It's just... It's such a good move. Air up attack. Repeat move lockout. Increase to 50 frames from 12 frames. Air up attack. Huh. I guess people probably already use that for... I don't use that move much. I probably should. It's a nice quick maneuver. It just doesn't have a big hitbox. And also there's just so many other moves you can do. So... Air neutral special. Remove armor applied on startup. Rage version unchanged. Air neutral special. Oh yeah, when he grabs someone. Yeah, and he has armor on startup. Okay. Okay, no longer allows changing the throw direction after. Yeah, that was a good way to as a counter to a ledge. In particular, I was facing a jack, and he would grab my foot as I'm like trying to like do a ledge trap, and he would just turn around and throw me off the ledge. It is such a good launching move. This thing is so powerful. It's ridiculous. Like how far you get thrown out, how far and how fast this move is strong. Like I don't even notice it that much because he's just doing so much other stuff, but like this move is strong. Holy cow. And it's like a good catch too because it's a command grab, so it kind of just beats out things for people who are like expecting a normal attack. Odd whiff cancel window delayed 3 frames. Hitbox size reduced, so it's less likely for Jack to hit enemies behind on startup. Focus, air, ground. On whiff cancel and delay frames. Hitbox size reduced, better match non-focus. Attack will now only transition to multiple slashes if the first attack hits an enemy. Thank God! Okay, that's a good change. That's a good change. You just cover... I was playing Jack, just trying to figure out, like, okay, who's gonna punish me for doing this? Nobody. They just avoid it and hope I don't follow up. Because you start doing this at the ledge and someone's recovering, you're just dancing in the air with this attack. It's just... I'd be surprised if this character wasn't S tier 2v2s. I'd be very surprised. Anyways, I'm getting super salty, but I've had a day. I've had some days. Shadow Step perk. Facing your Jack would sometimes move behind his enemy and whiff his counter attack. Yeah, I didn't even use that perk. It's probably a good one too. It's another good move. Shaggy, the guy who used to have the Enrage that was pretty aggressive. They did nerf Shaggy enough though, so where he doesn't like just ring you out in 3 hits almost automatically in certain situations. Like his up special in the air was they reduced the like vertical knockback, made it more horizontal, reduced the knockback scaling overall, so he can't like just characters that really like to chase you up into the air like Black Adam, Shaggy, because they ring out upwards so well. So I feel like Shaggy's in a pretty good spot right now. His rage is still, you know, pretty good, but not nearly as oppressive as it once was. So he also reduces rage to 12 seconds. Okay, dang. Rage air size special no longer breaks armor. Oh, that's right. Up special. Down special. Okay, ooh, man. The shockwave could get stuck traveling between identical terrains. Down special no longer breaks armor. Okay. Whoop, bumping my mic. I mean, I think that makes sense, because Shaggy would just do that and his side special goes so far in a 2v2 setup. He preps a rage and just comes flying in while the other person's either dealing with a partner trying to do a combo or something. That could just be tough thing to deal with. So I think that makes sense too, because it's like, yeah, you know he's coming, but that partner is chasing you too, so you're like trying to position where you can hit the partner but also not get hit by Shaggy doing rage. So it can sometimes just be a situation where you're gonna get hit by one of these specials and there's not much you can do about it. So I can see why they might be doing this. I don't know how oppressive he is now either in 2v2s. He still feels really good though, just because he has movement, and they did nerf the jabs a little bit too though, and that was something I know with Shaggy I would use a lot, where I'd just do a couple little steps away, jab, couple little steps away, jab. Just the dumbest looking counter. So yeah, again, I don't know how strong he is. I haven't really played him. I didn't play him as much in the beta. I played him a little more in the release as a whole, but yeah. Steven Universe. Enemies can now knock back Steven to reduce stacks of bubble debuff. Oh, yeah, because I would just kind of keep building up the entire time. Air side attack. Hitbox size reduced. Now better matches visuals. Air side attack. Okay. Shield is considered untechable service. Shield is considered untechable service. Air down special. Startup window increased 6 frames. All accelerators reduced slightly. Hitbox active duration after landing reduced 6 frames. Dang, they actually... I mean, I guess he has a lot of good moves in general. I haven't used them enough to understand a lot of this, but... he does have a lot of good moves, so that might be why. He's a harder character to play in too, so that's part of it. Drago was trying to play him for the first time. Came across a Hugs Honey, and she's Kerosene. Great name for a Bugs Bunny. I got blown up as Harley in like the first 3 seconds. Like, yep, this is gonna be a match. It was still a fun fight. We did a little better on the second match. Still got blasted, but good times. Drago was trying to play Steven. No idea how to play that poor boy. 1.2, she did actually protect me by using Steven's shield in the air. Just for a moment, protected me. Almost had a chance of winning the fight. But yeah, it was an uphill battle. Alright, Stripe, air ground down special. Base cooldown removed. Really? Wait. Cool base. Oh, yeah, okay. Ammo cooldown reduced to 0.5 from 15. Okay. Yeah, because I remember I used it at one point. And I like got a ring out with it, and at the end of the match I wanted to do my classic blow myself up off the screen to a GG emote. But I couldn't do it, so I was sad. But then I got on the next match, and I was like, blow myself up, go fly. I was also playing with the Shaggy, who was just carrying me at that point. I was against the one of the Agent Smiths and Batman. I was not on my A game. Thankfully that Shaggy was doing alright. I mean, I won't say I did horrible, but I was definitely struggling. Taz's role is now Assassin instead of Bruiser. Ooh, interesting. I think that fits. I think that fits. It's weird that these are like the main changes is Morty, Marvin, and Taz. But I think that still fits. Air ground neutral special. Fixing where Taz could become permanently stuck if hit while eating certain projectiles. Well, that's interesting. He didn't have much for changes, but air side attack, ground side attack. Hitbox size reduced, visuals updated to match. Air ground up special. Figures where Joker could sometimes not ride his balloon immediately on spawn. Let's see. Velma can be oppressive as a projectile's owner, but still lacks the tools to complete her combos when she gets into melee range. We are limiting the strength of her projectile tools while increasing the strength of her close range attacks to give her better punish game when she finds her moment to strike. We have also given her a new attack in the form of on cooldown special. Special they can use to start combos. Okay, so one thing I noticed. So this is a little weird. Velma was a character, was like one of the few characters who could attack like across the entire arena effectively. They removed that from her. They gave her a neutral attack that then was, you have to charge it up to get a range on it. But if you don't charge it up at all, it's basically useless. You do not want to use it. So I'll read these notes here in a second, but like a lot of her, she seemed like she had like only a couple true projectiles. One was her down special, which has a huge cooldown, and the other being like her neutral special, unless she didn't really have projectiles. Like they kind of removed her ability to do projectiles, it removed her ability to slug it all. Like she still has awkward movement with her side special in the air. It's not really good at hitting anybody. Like Harley probably has a better move for that, and hers is tricky to use at times properly, so yeah, like Velma is just, her moves are hard to hit, and the fact that they're making her more of a close range attacker, like I already kind of felt like she was more of a swordy because she has flashlight, which is like a little bit of a disjoint, and her idea light bulb attack, which is a bit of a disjoint. Her down attack on the ground, which is considered a projectile, is more of a disjoint. So it's like stuff like that where her attack bubbles too, they're more of disjoints. It's less like actual projectiles, so it's weird that they're yeah, it seems like she's being turned more into a swordy at this point than a mage. So we'll see where this goes, but Fiction Assembly was unable to dodge land. Okay, ground attacks out start window reduced 2 frames. Okay, that's good. On whiff cancel. Okay, that's good. I mean, jabs in general have been nerfed, I think, but hit stun, increased side attack 2. Hitbox added to Velma's chest should... yeah. That is already kind of hard to hit someone trying to descend, and the fact that you can't necessarily catch anybody on the ground. Yeah. Ground down attack. Startup window reduced 2 frames. That's the projectile one. On whiff cancel. Okay, so they're increasing the startup of her attack. Yeah, that was kind of thing. She felt very slow with a lot of these attacks. Like, they're kind of disjoints, but she's just so slow with them. It just felt hard to get anything. You're kind of just trying to space it to the point where you're just doing it so early, you're hoping someone just run into it. At least in my experience, but I've only played her so much, and am still bad. So, air side attack. Uncharged damage increased. Uncharged knockback reduced. Uncharged knockback scaling. Okay, I think that's good. Gives it a little more combo game at early percentages and maybe a ring out potential later on. Maximum charge knockback multiplier reduced to 1 point. Oh. Wait, what? Okay, so charging it does less. Visuals not better match the hitbox. Okay, that'll be handy too then. Homing speech bubbles now stop homing if the target enemy dodges the speech bubble. SAS speech bubble maximum lifetime reduced to 2.5 seconds from infinite. SAS speech bubble knockback angle may more horizontal and backwards towards Velma. Ally empowered Toodle speech bubble maximum lifetime reduced to 8 seconds from 10 seconds. What does that even mean? I gotta look at her in the lab here in a moment. Fix an issue where an ally empowered Toodle speech bubble. But I should have went potty earlier or stretched all that stuff. I just realized I was like, yeah, I'll do it shortly. And it's like in 20 minutes now. Fix an issue where an ally empowered Toodle speech bubble could home towards Mojo Jojo. Nice. On the Townsville map. Fix an issue where speech bubbles would home towards certain characters. Feet rather than their midpoints. I see. Probably Gizmo. Trying to dodge his stupid head. Ground down special. Mystery machine. Mystery machine capture hitbox is now low priority. Low priority? Can now re-hit enemies that have dodged the capture hitbox after 1 second. I see. Low priority. So does that mean like a sword will beat it? I wonder what that means. Air side special. Movement and knockback have been completely revamped. Okay, let's talk about that side special being poopy dookie. This attack now moves Velma farther and knocks back enemies into her path, allowing her to use this attack as a combo starter. Air up special. Vertical movement ooh. So, one of the main things I liked about her up special was something that a lot of characters didn't really have. Well, Joker kind of has to now. Kind of, but well, like when I was playing her a little bit, people are like, Steve was trying to juggle me up into the sky to finish me off. So as a mix-up, instead of like trying to dodge out, parry, DI, get to the side or something, I countered him with her up special in the air, which is her camera, and when she hits them with it, they get launched upward, and then I was able to use my up attack and ring them out. So like there's a lot of that's one interesting thing about her kit, like along with being like a swordy apparently, is she can counter someone trying to juggle you up into the sky, and that can kind of be a really good mix-up, because like they're like, oh, I'm gonna ring you out here, but then you turn it around on them, and it probably feels real horrible for them, especially if they're a lower damage in that. Like one of the things with her kit that like made her feel kind of good. Air ground down special. Book spawn location. Move closer to Velma. Should prevent close range whiffs. I see. Air down special. Down special can now be used on cooldown to spawn a short-range book projectile. The projectile could be used as a combo starter in air or ground. The projectile does not grant any buffs to Velma or allies. Okay. So one of the biggest issues that I had with the down special was it takes forever. Like I guess the down special is supposed to like reduce your cooldowns. And I would sometimes use it as like a ring out maneuver, but when it's that cooldown is like the longest cooldown in the game. Like the amount of times Jack can use his powered up focus side special compared to the amount of times Velma is going to use her. Velma's lucky if she uses this twice on the same stock. Like she's going to get it off once and then she's not coming back for a very long time. That's how long that cooldown was. So which I'm guessing they did that so that you're not cooling down too often. You're not cooling down the move you put on cooldown. But it also just felt horrible to really try to utilize it all. And then Jack's coming around with his anti-projectile grabs and his dashing focus attack. And here Velma out here trying to do up special on him. Wonder Woman. Ground air neutral special. Armor duration on Hayden Alley reduced to 0.5. Dang. That is tiny. Okay. Armor duration reduced to dang. Okay. I guess. Huh. I mean, Wonder Woman is pretty good. She has a lot of good anti-projectile, anti-armor as it is, and then she can apply armor pretty regularly, so yeah, I think that makes sense. Alright, that's enough of me rambling about the patch notes. I'm gonna try to get into the game here a little bit, probably. Not sure how much we'll do, but